Welcome back to The Truth About the Plant, the show that takes you through the world of psychoactive plants and alternative wellness, all while delivering those real, actual insights you crave. I'm your host, Christina Dees, and this is my equally talented co-host, Dr. Amanda Ryman. And Dr. Ryman, you want to tell everyone why we're here, why we show up every week, and we bring them answers to questions in 15 minutes or less.
Absolutely. So, we are here because finding good, accurate information about cannabis on the internet can be so difficult. We already know that certain social media platforms censor content about cannabis, even educational content. And there are a lot of experts out there who, at least people who think they're experts, but what they really do is giving you their opinion. So, we are here to tell you the truth. We are here to give you science backed information on all of your most pertinent and important cannabis questions. And because we know that you are busy, we want to give you that information in 15 minutes or less so you can get what you need and get on your way. Think of us as your really cool aunties or your kick-ass granddaughters, the women in your life who will always tell you the truth.
That's right. And if you're tuning in for the first time, welcome. And if you're tuning in as usual every week, well, welcome back. And I think you'll be glad that you popped in for this one because we're going to dive into the world of beauty and botanicals with the question that has all the skincare enthusiasts buzzing. Is CBD good for your skin? So from soothing serums to hydrating creams, CBD seems to be the new star in the beauty aisle, but does it live up to its hype? So we're going to unravel the science, the claims, and how this plant-powered ingredient might just become your skin's new best friend. Dr. Ryman, CVS.com lists nearly 50 personal care products with CBD, including muscle relief creams, moisturizers, massage oils, facial cleansers, facial masks, anti-wrinkle creams, bath salts, eye serums. And then Sephora.com lists a $125 full-spectrum CBD luxury beauty serum. And so one popular claim about CBD is that it has anti-aging effects and it's a good ingredient in skincare products. So my question is this true or just another marketing ploy? Is CBD good for your skin?
So the short answer is yes, we think. But as with many questions about the benefits of cannabis, we are limited by lack of research. And I'll go into that a little bit more in a bit. That being said, there are some properties of CBD that have been fairly well proven that we can transfer to skincare benefits. So, for example, CBD is a well known anti inflammatory. So, if you're looking to reduce puffiness and redness in the face, CBD can be beneficial. It also has anti-itch properties, which may help with dry skin, when you get too much sun, or even with some skin conditions like psoriasis, where itching is a symptom. CBD and other cannabinoids also have antioxidant properties that can help reduce the visible signs of aging. And CBD may actually encourage the production of collagen and elastin, which are proteins that help keep skin looking firm and elastic.
Well, I use a CBD serum on my face and I really like the results it gives without the harsh chemicals, of course, or the synthetic ingredients. So it sounds like there may be some truth to the claims about CBD and beauty, but how about in the treatment of skin conditions like acne?
So, here's where we really need more research. So, it's one thing to say CBD will help reduce inflammation in your skin or it's going to help with your skin's firmness. It's another thing entirely to say CBD is a treatment for this skin condition. And so that's where we kind of hit a wall because of our lack of research. So, as with a lot of cannabis products, research is really limited to observational or animal studies. And while sure, it's interesting to know if CBD gets rid of mouse wrinkles, what we really need is randomized controlled trials of people in order to tell if CBD can be used successfully in people to treat certain skin conditions. So, what that means is that we need a study where, for something like eczema, for example, which is a skin condition, we need people to be randomized into two groups. Half of that group gets a serum that has CBD in it. Another half, the control group, gets a serum that doesn't have CBD in it. The people that are using the serum and the researchers, nobody knows which is which, so there's no bias. And then we measure the results. So we take pictures of their symptoms for week after week after week, and we look and see if the CBD group has marked improvement. And that's really the kind of study we need to have. What we have instead is people posting pictures online saying, oh, I used a CBD ointment for my problem and look, it got so much better. So we have this kind of testimonial research, which on the one hand, if it's paired with pictures, you can say, well, I'm seeing results, but it's not controlled. And we don't know if there was something else that may have been causing the remission besides the CBD. So we really need the kind of controlled studies that I mentioned in order to tell if CBD is causing some of these symptoms to get better. Now, we do know that there are things like antimicrobial properties of cannabinoids like CBD and CBG. So, if there are skin conditions that are caused by bacteria, we might say, this is caused by bacteria. We know that these cannabinoids help combat bacteria. By the transitive property, we can assume that using cannabinoids for this bacterial condition may help improve it. But again, we still need really the controlled studies in order to say, yes, this particular CBD product, and we're going to get into quality in a minute, has this effect on this condition. So we do have some evidence that CBD may help with conditions like acne, psoriasis, eczema, other conditions related to skin health, but we really need those rigorous studies to fully uncover the potential of CBD as a treatment.
Yeah. So what you're saying is we know that CBD, the cannabinoid, has properties like anti-inflammatory properties that can help conditions, but we don't have any real world data to support that yet, and that's what we need. Okay.
Well, we do have like what we would call real world data, right? Meaning that people out in the world are using products and making claims that they work. What we don't have is kind of clinical data, meaning that we are looking at a mixture that says has X number of milligrams of CBD. People who have that condition are applying it to their skin, and we are measuring the success, because it could be that, 10 milligrams of CBD doesn't work, but 50 milligrams does. And that's really where we get into kind of the quality of what's out there on the market, which we're going to get into in a minute.
Yeah. And that could take a while too when you're doing research studies and clinical trials. So when you talk about the actual dosage. All right, well, let's move on. What about THC? What do we know about THC in skincare?
So, one thing we know about THC is that it does have pain relieving properties, right? The pain relieving qualities of THC have been pretty well researched. We know that people use THC for all sorts of pain related conditions, including things like chronic pain, but also acute pain. So, we can assume that THC oil can help people who are treating pain related to a skin condition without any psychoactive effects. So, there's a condition, an autoimmune condition called lichen planus. I actually have it. I have oral lichen planus, which occurs in my mouth. Fortunately for me, it doesn't really have pain. My symptoms aren't really pain related. They're more kind of irritation and dry mouth and inflammation. So I do use a CBD tincture for it. But some people get lichen planus lesions on their skin, on their actual skin, and it can be very painful. So would be a good treatment for a pain related skin condition without psychoactivity. So we also know that THC and CBD may aid in wound healing. So when it comes to skin conditions that include things like lesions, a combination of THC and CBD might be helpful. But really, when it comes to skincare, CBD is the hero of the story. And it is the cannabinoid that holds the most promise for the wide variety of symptoms that are associated both with anti-aging and with people who have skin conditions.
Well, in one respect, it's good news because CBD is more widely available. But let's go back to those 50 CBD skin products on CVS.com. How do we know which product to use? Like, walking into any store, we're so overwhelmed as consumers, but how do we know like which ones are real, which ones are fake, what works, what doesn't?
It is really tough. I saw a post online today for a CBD glove to help with hand pain. So I wasn't really sure, like, does the glove like excrete CBD oil? Is it just a glove that's been in the room with CBD and therefore they're saying it helps? So there's so many products out there that are questionable. And this can be really tough because the FDA has refused to get involved with CBD. So, other than send companies warning letters when they're making medical claims, the FDA does not regulate CBD. And that means that there are very loose standards when it comes to labeling and claims made, right? There's no body that is sitting there going, all right, we have to test this, and this is the label you have to use, and this is how many milligrams has to be in there for you to be able to make this claim. Like, we don't have any of that. Now, as I mentioned, CBD companies can't make medical claims about their product. So they can't say that their product cures or treats a specific disease. So they can't say this CBD oil cures eczema or this CBD oil cures acne. They're not allowed to say that. And if they do, the FDA will likely write them a letter and just say, excuse me, sir or madam, please don't do that. You don't have any evidence of that. And that's a medical claim. However, they can make claims like reduces wrinkles or hydrates skin because those are not actual diseases, right? Those are symptoms associated with the condition that we like to call getting older. So even though a product may say there's a certain amount of CBD in it, there's no independent check to make sure that that information is accurate. So actually in 2022, there was a study done by Johns Hopkins, so a very reputable institution. They purchased 105 CBD topical products and tested them to identify their actual amounts of CBD and THC. So this is what the label says, and this is what's actually in there. 85% of the products listed the total amount of CBD in milligrams. So 15% didn't list it at all, right? They were just like CBD, but didn't tell you how much was in there. Of the 85% that actually had an amount in there, 18% contained less CBD than advertised. 58% contained more CBD than advertised, and only 24% were accurately labeled. So even if you get a label that claims to have a certain amount of CBD, there's a good chance that that is not accurate. As I've mentioned before, personally, I would say if you're looking for an accurately labeled CBD product, you're going to have more luck at a licensed cannabis dispensary because those products are all tested by an independent third party lab. But even then, we know accuracy with the third party independent labs may not be 100%, but at least you know it's been subject to some kind of third party testing, which the products sold in CVS aren't necessarily doing. Now, luckily, there's no real CBD overdose. So even if you get one of those 58% of products that have more CBD than advertised, you're likely not going to have any adverse effects. So that's really good. CBD that is applied topically does not enter the bloodstream. So you're really just putting it into the dermal layer of the body. The biggest concern would really be buying a product that has less CBD than advertised. So you don't want to spend, say, $125 on a full spectrum CBD beauty serum if there's not as much CBD in it as advertised. So again, just like your food, just like other beauty products, if you're going to try a product, buy it from a brand you trust or based on recommendations from people you trust. That's a really good place to start.
Well, one quick last question. What about these med spas that offer products with CBD in them? Do you think it's worth adding on as a service in a place like that?
Well, again, it's like, what is your assurance that the product they're using even has CBD in it? I mean, they're a med spa, but at the heart of it, they're not that different from CVS.com. They're still sourcing their products from CBD manufacturers. Now, you would think if it's a higher end location and they have higher end products overall, that perhaps the CBD products they offer are a bit higher end, which maybe that means that they're more accurately labeled. I will say that I go to do float sensory deprivation tanks here locally, and they have a counter that has all kinds of products you can purchase before you go into your float, after your float, including CBD gummies, CBD beverages. And I never buy any of it because I'm not convinced that what they have actually has CBD in it. You know, unlike THC, where if somebody advertises that this gummy has 10 milligrams of THC and you eat it and you feel nothing, and usually 10 milligrams gets you really high, you can be like, I don't know if that had any THC in it because usually I get really high from that dose and I'm not feeling anything. With CBD, it's more like vitamins, right? Like I'm taking a fiber gummy in the morning and it says on the bottle how much fiber is in that gummy. but I don't feel it, right? I'm not like, ooh, I feel that fiber. So I'm really going off the fact that these types of vitamins are regulated by the FDA and they require them to all be tested and they require them to be labeled accurately. And if they find out that something's not labeled accurately, it gets recalled. We don't have that for CBD. So, you're still kind of taking the advice of the manufacturer that this is what's in there. So, again, look for a manufacturer you trust. Like I trust Nature Made, right? That's who I buy my vitamins from, my supplements. So if I saw that Nature Made had a CBD gummy out there, I would probably believe Nature Made more than I would believe some like CBD and you company that I haven't seen put out any other products. So again, just like food, think about brands you trust. If you're in a more high end location, maybe you can have more confidence that what they source, they're kind of looking into more to make sure that it's accurate. But it's really hard to tell. There's a lot of very pretty labels out there on products that may not be made well.
Well, thank you for answering that. I totally agree. Well, let's wrap this up. This CBD and skincare conversation was very enlightening because I think it is an important topic that is coming up more and more. Again, CBD, THC, it's so confusing. So thanks for making it simple for us. So whether you're dreaming of a glow up or you're just looking for some plant powered pampering, remember your skin deserves the best, and so do you. If you got a success story or you got more questions, drop us a line at info@mypersonalplants.com. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to explore our YouTube channel for more tips, plant wisdom, and everything in between. Subscribe, like, and hit that bell to stay in the loop. Until next time, stay radiant, stay curious, and keep glowing inside and out.